Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alumni Association's inaugural webinar, the topic of which is the Resilience Plus program. The topic was chosen because quite a number of the alumni expressed an interest in contributing within the program. My name's Hugh Wilczewski. I'm a member of the board and chair of the Alumni Engagement Committee. Before we begin the webinar, I'd like to thank a couple of folks and for making this presentation a reality, and also to introduce our speaker for the evening. First of all, many thanks to the Chapitre de Saint-Jean, Fort Saint-Jean, I'll get it right, and the administrative and technical support they're providing to us this evening. We couldn't have done it without them. In particular, thanks very much to Chantal Rivard, Coordinator Extraordinaire in the planning and execution of the webinar this evening. And I'd also like to thank Jill Carlton, also a board member and the past president of the Alumni Association, for her coordination efforts in making this a success this evening. Before we start, a couple of admin items. So the webinar will be recorded and will be made available for any interested alumni who weren't able to be here this evening, or if you want to review it at a future date. If you have any questions for any of us, for the speaker, please use the chat function, and we will get to those questions at the end of the presentation. We expect the presentation to last about an hour and 15 minutes, so we'll have time for questions. If the question relates to this evening's topic, we'll do our best to answer them. Those that relate to other alumni activities, we'll take them under advisement and respond back to you accordingly. We'll have a hard stop this evening of 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now I'd like to introduce our speaker for this evening, Dr. Lobna Cherif. She is the Associate Professor in the Department of Military Psychology and Leadership and Chair of Resilience at Royal Military College. She's also the Director of the Resilience Plus program. And I looked at her biography earlier, and she has far too many on a list of educations, certifications, and awards to go through them all. But I encourage you to have a look at it and just see how diligent she's been in this area for sure. Suffice it to say, I expect a great presentation this evening, and I'm sure you'll be impressed with her talk. Also participating this evening a bit later will be an officer cadet that's part of the Resilient Plus program. That's Officer Cadet Courtney Latour. She's a 4th year at RMC. And without further ado, let's get started.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Zeus, and thank you for everybody here. It's an honor to be here today with you to talk to you about the Resilience Plus program. First of all, we would like to, next slide, please, to thank you for being here with us, and also express our deepest gratitude for this opportunity and for the tremendous support you've expended to our program over the last 3 years. Next slide, please. So let's delve into, oh, I'm seeing the slides now. So maybe next slide is the number 3. There you go. So let's delve into the background of our journey. Next slide, please. So at the Canadian military colleges, we are dedicated to building the leaders of tomorrow. And when they start their journey at RMC or at RMC Saint-Jean, officer cadets, naval officer cadets know that they are joining a university with a difference. Next slide, please. So what does this mean? They are enabled to excel by being immersed in an environment that values excellence in the 4 pillars. Next slide, please. So as you all know, academics, military training, physical fitness, second language proficiency, and leadership are the 4 military colleges pillar. All this with the motto. Next slide, please. The college's motto, truth, duty, valor, that guides our officer cadets and naval cadets in everything they do, while they evolve in a VUCA word. So next slide, please. So what is a VUCA word? The term VUCA conflates 4 distinct type of challenges and stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And it is used to describe the nature of the modern world where we evolve today, particularly in terms of business, leadership, and strategic planning. And the concept of a VUCA word actually is very interesting because it did originated in the military domain and was later adopted to the business context. So the term is believed to have been coined by the U.S. Army College in 1987 to describe a more complex word perceived as resulting from the end of the Cold War. And it did gain popularity in the 90s and even more during the pandemic. So this VUCA word, where we are evolving today and where our naval officer cadets are growing, and this word that they are going to be leading, we cannot change a lot. Next slide, please. As I was preparing this presentation, I was having discussions with the Resilience Plus team, and we came up with this this phrase or metaphor where we may not control the storm, but we can choose to learn to become skilled navigators of life challenges, countering adversity as we steer our course with resilience and anti-fragility. So life is going to be very challenging for our officer cadets while they are at RMC and RMC Saint-Jean, and for them as the future leaders also. And this is a reality, and we cannot change anything to it. However, they can choose, and here is a very important concept of choosing. They can choose to learn about resilience, and they can choose to become to acquire the skills that allow them to counter adversity. So next slide, please. So countering adversity is different from what we say controlling adversity. Next slide, please. There is a big difference between trying and acquiring the skills to counter challenges and adversity, and between the myth that we can control adversity and we can control life. And this VUCA word is certainly not something that we are going to be able to control. However, we can learn to counter adversity, and we can learn to the strategies and the tools that will allow us not to react, actually. Yes, please. That's the next slide. Not to react, but actually to respond. So what is the difference between a reaction and a response? A reaction is simultaneous and is immediate. You might regret it, can be impulsive. Whereas when you pause, you think about the situation, you are able to use your prefrontal cortex and make the decision and make the sound judgment and respond to the adversity. And this is exactly what we are trying to teach our naval officer cadets. We are trying to help them become more skilled, so that instead of just bouncing back from adversity, they can actually become anti-fragile. Next slide, please. So what is anti-fragility? This is a concept that's fairly new, and it's actually borrowed from the science of economics. And anti-fragility is about bouncing not back, but actually bouncing forward. And next slide. Anti-fragility is about thriving through disruption and change. So instead of just bouncing back and being resilient, we can actually grow from our adversity, and we can thrive through the disruption and change, and present ourselves as the best who we are. And this is exactly the objective of the Resilience Plus program. Next slide, please. So the Resilience Plus program is a unique, evidence-based, bilingual program that provides naval officer cadets with empirically validated tools and strategy necessary to become anti-fragile. And this is achieved through training, research, coaching, mentoring, and education. So I'm going to start by going through each one of those 5 components of the program, starting by the core of the program, which is the training. Next slide, please. And next slide, please. So our training is based on the Anti-Fragile Leaders Resilience Training Certification, level 1 and level 2. And these certifications are designed to explore the concept of resilience with a keen emphasis on the following key aspects. 1, delving into its theoretical and conceptual underpinnings. And 2, applying this foundational knowledge to foster cognitive, emotional, social, and behavioral competencies. And it does fortify also character, a concept that is becoming more and more important in the Canadian Armed Forces. So we empower officer cadets to achieve success in both their personal and professional journey. So next slide, please. So here are the competencies. And as you can see, 4 competencies, which are cognitive, emotional, social, and behavioral competencies. And we achieve this through different concepts and topics, such as mental flexibility, communication, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, connection and relationships, strengths of character, time management, and mindfulness. So those are a few examples. Next slide, please. So the certification for the level 1, and this is offered to naval officer cadets, is composed of 16 modules of 90 minutes. So it's a total of 24 hours. And we do have a level 2 of the certification for trainers. And it's the same 16 modules, but we dive deeper in the concept. So it's 180 minutes for a total of 48 hours certification. We are planning a Train the Trainers program in fall 2024. So just so you know, because we're going to be looking for people who would be interested in getting the certifications and become trainers, so they can teach the material to our officer cadets. And we are also planning an international cohort in September 2024. And this is because we have the Military Academy in France, the Naval Academy in Portugal, the Military Academy in Cape Town, South Africa, in the Military Academy in Denmark, Belgium, and Belgium, who are interested in our certifications and they want to implement it. So hopefully in September 2024, we're having trainers from those from those academies who are going to come here to Canada to get our training. What you get when you do the training, you get the slides, you get a trainer manual for the level 1 and a participant manual for level 1 and level 2. Next slide, please. Now, next is our education component of the program. And so when we talk about resilience, we need to talk about the theory and the research behind the resilience, so the science of resilience. And this is done through the certification in the certifications, so the Anti-Fragile Leaders Resilience Training certifications. But we also offer what we call sur-mesure programs. So these are programs that are tailored to specific populations. So for example, we had a program that was offered to our FIOP student. We also had a program that was offered to the Alloy student, Indigenous Leadership Program student. Those are the Indigenous Leadership Program. We had programs that were offered to the SPT officer cadets, so those who are in the supplemental physical training program, and so on. So those are programs that are tailored to those specific populations and with the needs for them. So we also offer what we call the LEAD sessions. LEAD is an acronym for Learn, Explore, Apply, and Develop. And those are sessions that are offered during lunchtime for the whole RMC and RMC Saint-Jean communities. So we get to have people from participants from the training wing, from the academic wing. Sometimes officer cadets are joining, the commandant sometimes is there, and so on. And it's really a relaxed lunch and learn environment. And it's an opportunity to learn about resilience, but also for them to communicate and exchange about resilience. We also offer the mindfulness-based strength practice program, which is also a program to build resilience, character strengths, and mindfulness. Next slide, please. So resilience is a skill that we can teach in class, that you learn in class. You learn about the theory, you learn about the research, you learn the concept, the tools, and the strategies. But as every other skill, resilience needs to be practiced. And if you don't practice it, you will lose it. So just like the drill or learning to play piano, which is a skill that you have to practice and improve. Resilience needs to be practiced. So this is why we do have what we call positive interventions on campus. So those interventions are educational interventions that aim to practice resilience and to help officer cadets, but also staff and faculty to practice their resilience. And we have many of them, and I'm going to go through them a little bit to explain to you what do we do with them and how we do that. Next slide, please. So our Narratives of Resilience Plus is an initiative where we ask people to send us their stories of resilience. And by telling our stories, we build bridges for others to cross, because people realize that they are not the only one going through hardship. They are not the only one having challenging times. And they get hope. They get also kind of sense of community and share of those struggles. So we ask people to send their narratives of resilience. And then what we do is we read those narratives. We try to find the character strengths that allowed the author of the narrative to bounce back and to do better. And then we share those narratives with the whole community at RMC of officer cadets, staff and faculty. And so here you're seeing on the screen an example of a narrative that was shared by an officer cadet. We received so many narratives from all kind of people, going from the former CDA to the former commandants, principal of RMC, staff, faculty, lots of narratives of officer cadets. What we get from this is lots of feedback of officer cadets saying, I never realized that these people were going through this, and if they could do it, I can do it too. So it's very inspiring for them to see, to read those narratives. Next slide, please. Another on-campus initiative is what we call the Resilience Plus Wall of Paragon of Strengths of Character. And I apologize for the characters here. I think that when I sent the PowerPoint, it got a little bit distort. So the objective of this initiative is to encourage officer cadets, staff and faculty to spot and recognize strengths in other people. And we do have physical wall, as you can see on the picture on the right, where people will fill cards, as you can see on the left picture, where they present themselves, nominate somebody as a paragon of a character strength, and they need to explain why and how. And then we put those cards and we display them on the wall for a total duration of a month. And every month we change those cards. And so the idea is to, one, encourage the knowledge and the practice of the language of character strengths, because all of the paragons have to be paragons of a character strength. And second is to normalize appreciation and recognitions of other, and to encourage the officer cadets to learn how to see the best in other, and to learn how to give a positive feedback. So the nominee, the people nominated do not know that they were nominated until they see their names on the wall. And again, it's really like very very positive to see all the feedback from the officer cadets who will send us messages saying, oh, I saw my name and I was nominated as a paragon of kindness, of judgment, of humor, or of leadership, and you see how this is rewarding. And I would like to nominate somebody too. So there you go. And we're going, and this is how it's. This has been going for more than a year now, actually 2 years. So normalizing recognition and normalizing seeing what's best in people, and building, empowering people, and also building a community where people are behind each other and helping each other and trying to encourage each other. Next slide, please. So the next initiative is what we call the Resilience Plus Mosaic of Character Strength. And this initiative has an objective of building a cohesion within teams. So what we do is we ask teams to send us their top character strengths of each member. And what we do is we collect those character strengths and we create what you see in front of you, a kind of mosaic. And this mosaic that you see here is the one of the Resilience Plus team. And on the left, you can see all the character strengths that represent the colors. So this allow again to practice the language of character strengths, but also this give the teams an opportunity to look at their strengths and also discuss the strengths of the team. And as a team, what makes us the best, and how we can help each other. The objective is again to practice this language of character strengths to strengthen the relationship within the team, to empower the teams, and to help them to know each other and know the best part of each people. Next slide, please. The next initiative is what we call the 365 Days of Resilience Plus. And just as the name of the initiative it is 365 days of resilience. So these are challenges that are based on character strengths that we are building, and every day we aim to send messages to build one specific character strength. So it could be humility, it could be creativity, it could be curiosity, it could be love of learning, teamwork, forgiveness, and so on. And so every day people have to do those challenges, practice their character strength, apply the knowledge that they receive through those challenges. And it is about practice. It is about practicing those character strengths until they become a way of being. It helps people also realize that by using our character strengths on a daily basis, we can build not only our resilience, but we can build our well-being, and we can really do better. Next slide, please. This is one of my favorite initiative on campus, and it's called the Resilience Plus Tree of Hope, probably because hope is one of the character strengths that I really like the most. And then we actually have a tree, a real tree that we call the Tree of Hope, as you can see, that is on campus just in front of the library, the Massey Library. And what we do is we invite officer cadet staff and faculty to write down wishes that we collect and we put on the tree. And the labels that you see here are biodegradable. So when those label they disappear, or when the writing disappears because of the snow and the wind, and well, we like to say that the wish is up there now. So as you can see, we collect all kind of wishes, going from I hope and I wish that my grandmother is going to be okay, to I hope I don't fall asleep in class, or I hope I wish to get my B's, and so on. So the officer cadets are very creative in their wishes, and you can see that on the tree. The tree looks right now very beautiful because it did lose all its leaves, and the only thing that you can see is those colored wishes, and it's also nice to see people stopping and looking at the wishes. And so you might ask the question, what's the relationship between this and resilience? And resilience is also about hope, and it's about spirituality, and it's about meaning, and it's about optimism. So this is about putting that out there, but also it's about building that community, because people will stop, will read other people's wishes, and they will be aware of what's going on many people's lives and realities. So next slide, please. The next initiative is the Resilience Plus Creativity Club. Creativity is another character strength, and by creating this club and this initiative on campus, we're trying to build creativity. Creativity is very much correlated to problem solving and to resilience. and to leadership as well. And so we organize creativity nights. It could be rock painting, it could be painting, it could be a Lego night, coloring, music, beading night. And again, this is an opportunity for officer cadets, staff, and faculty to meet. We do it usually on an evening night, and in another context than in class, to meet in a very relaxed environment. We had the commandant join us in those activities, the principal, the chief of staff. So we had so many people joining us, profs and so on. But also within this creativity club, next slide, please. We have a few initiatives, such as the Valentine's for Vets. Since 2021, we have been sending cards on February 14th for veterans through the government of Canada. And those are cards that are designed by officer cadets. So the design that you see on the left picture is a design by two officer cadets. And then we ask the officer cadets, staff and faculty on campus to write a few words for the vets. It is about gratitude, but it is also about kindness and love, which are other character strengths that we try to build in our officer cadets, and that are related also to resilience. It's about also social intelligence, and it's about leadership. These Valentine's for Vets. So this year we're heading to our third year of sending those Valentine's for Vets. Are very much appreciated by the vets. We always receive messages with regards to them. We also have another initiative. So this one is new. We thought about the vets, but we had someone in the team saying, we should also think about our deployed CAF members. And we thought, what could be best than during the holidays? And so this year we launched the Operation Festive Gratitude, and we had officer cadets come and gather, and staff and faculty come and gather and create cards for our CAF members deployed. The night was very successful. Lots of hot chocolate. Lots of Christmas songs, and great wishes for our CAF members. Next slide, please. Another initiative that I really like very much is the Resilience Plus Letters Project. And in this project, we ask officer cadets graduating fourth year officer cadets to write a letter to their younger self about their time at RMC, and to give their younger self an advice about their time at RMC. And what we do with those letters is that we collect them and we give them to the first year student after FIOP, and they read them. And so we started the project like this, with fourth year writing those letters and us giving them to the first year. But then we thought about it, and again we thought, how about fourth year? They're also going to a new word, and they don't know about this word. So we thought we would ask the alumni to write a letter to their younger self, and we provide those letters to the graduating officer cadets after the graduation. So this year is going to be the third year of this initiative. You might have heard about it, or you might not, but we're getting even more organized, because this year we're going by classes. So we're asking the class of 73 and 76 to write the letters to themselves, to their younger selves, and we're going to give them to the graduating officer cadets of RMC and RMC Saint-Jean. It's a circle. It's alumni writing to the fourth year writing to the first year, and creating this sense of community, and creating also the sense of mentorship, and of continuity, and learning from others, and being able to pass on our wisdom to those who are younger. So this initiative is very meaningful. I think that it is one of the most meaningful initiatives that we have. And I am really looking forward. We're collecting the letters, and I'm really looking forward to the time that we are going to create books of letters from the alumni, and books of letters from the fourth year student that we can leave in the library, and people can go and just go through them and read them, and get inspired, and get and see what's in there. Next slide, please. So our podcast, the Resilience Fast podcast, is also one of our most successful initiatives, in a way that our podcast episodes are released every month on our Moodle platform, and also on YouTube. We have been receiving. We have had the honor of interviewing many guests, going from a Holocaust survivor to an Olympian judo medalist, but also to researchers, but also people like General Air, our CDS, and Lieutenant General Carignan, Lieutenant General Bourgon, our commandants, our chief warrant officer at RMC and RMC Saint-Jean. And every podcast, every episode is so rich, and we learn so much from it. And I know, Courtney, that you were not supposed to talk right now, but I feel like this is a great time for you to maybe talk a little bit about your experience, as you were an interviewer for many years now, and you had the chance to interview many people, but also maybe you can tell them about who you are interviewing this Friday.
Absolutely. I was really excited to share. The podcast is fantastic. Not only does it give you the opportunity to network with amazing individuals. Honestly, I think I've made so many friends from this, and even within the RMC community, I'll still see people around that I've had the opportunity to have discussions with, and they're 100% people that I would sit down and have a coffee with. So this Friday, I will be having the opportunity to interview Colonel Hansen. So fantastic. I am almost bursting with excitement. And I think it's honestly a great opportunity to be able to practice just speaking skills, being comfortable with just having a conversation. Really, when you're sitting here, even though you're not face to face in person, it feels like you're sitting across the table and you're having an organic conversation, and it's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Courtney. So yeah, Courtney has been interviewing, has been an interviewer for the podcast for 3 years, I think, or maybe 4 since your first year. I'm not sure, but yes. So the interviews are conducted by the ambassadors of the Resilience Plus program. Same as all the other initiatives I've already talked about, and we will talk about this a little bit later. Courtney will talk about this a little bit later. But the ambassadors the officer cadets get to interview our guests and then we also offer a tool or a strategy at the end of the podcast that is inspired by the episode. Next slide, please. At the beginning of every semester, fall semester, we have what we call the fall meet and greet, the Resilience Plus fall meet and greet, and this is done after FIOP. Our main population target population are the first year student, because it's all about presenting them the program and letting them know what it is about and who we are. But we also see second and third and fourth year stopping by and getting some gears here and there. And this is also where we are distributing the letters. So the first years are always officially invited to the meet and greet. And as you can see in the picture, we do it on the Parex Square. We get the special authorization to get to be there, and it's usually in the afternoon at 2 hours after school from 4:30 to 6:30. And again, everybody is welcome to come, and the commandant is always stopping by, the principal, some members of the training wing, chatting with our ambassadors, chatting with other members, and so on. Next slide, please. Now, every fall, we also have what we call the Resilience Plus Soirée. And this is a big event for us, for our ambassadors, but also for the other officer cadets. And we have been very lucky because we have had so many incredible guests, such as Lieutenant General Carignan, Lieutenant General Bourgon, Major General Etchison, Major General Bilodeau. And this fall, we actually had, instead of having 1 or 2 or 3 VIPs, we had 14 VIPs coming to our soirée. So it was really, really a big event. So General Air and 13 other VIPs were amongst us at the Resilience Plus Soirée this fall on the night of 30 October 2023. The soirée was scheduled from 7 to 10 p.m. It actually started at 5 since General Air offered to also have dinner with our team. And then we had literally to close the doors because we had a maximum capacity of 100 and we were at 120 officer cadets in the room. So we had literally to close the door and to say, sorry, we cannot have any more people in the room right now. And it went up to 11 p.m. What is it about? So the stars of the soirée are not the VIPs. The stars of the soirée are the ambassadors. They run the show. They talk about their initiatives. They talk about the program, and the VIPs are here to listen to them. And it's amazing to see our ambassadors talk and explain what they do. Just like it's going to be so amazing to see Courtney in a few minutes talk about that. Next slide, please. So this slide is from this soirée, and as you can see, the cadet mess was full. And we had a very successful evening with many officer cadets attending and being interested in what we had to say. But also they had the opportunity to talk to all those VIPs in a very relaxed environment. So I have to say, having General Air and those 13 VIPs did help us a little bit. So next slide, please. Now this is my preferred slide. It's because you can see here a few, not all, of our ambassadors, and Courtney is I'm going to give the microphone to Courtney to talk to you about what is it to be an ambassador of the Resilience Plus program and what and how is what's next?
Thank you so much. So I just like to begin by asking the question, what are ambassadors and really what do we do? We are naval and officer cadets who take on a leadership role within Resilience Plus. We help create and implement and brainstorm a variety of initiatives. So the Resilience Plus program allows students the chance to exercise leadership throughout the RMC community. There's a plethora of initiatives that you're now kind of familiar with, and they allow naval and officer cadets the amazing chance to plan, organize, and implement positive interventions that ultimately have a ripple effect within the RMC community and even beyond. We use our foundation in positive psychology and character strengths and the language of character strengths to empower the community around us in a social, mindful, and creative set of ways. So our team is growing every year, and I'm so thankful for this program because of the experiences that it allows us to not only have for ourselves in our character development and our leadership, but it also allows us the space to inspire people and to make a profound difference within our community. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our ambassadors are honestly given amazing and in my opinion, life-changing opportunities to share and expand our program to different military colleges on an international stage. So right here we have an example, which was the 3rd annual International Forum for Peace, Security, and Prosperity last year. That was hosted, I think, in, I want to say March or April. This was in Piazza Armerina, Sicily. So we actually facilitated and participated within the forum. It was challenging, it was exciting. We had a team of 16, which included like our Resilience Plus ambassadors, and it was fantastic. Next slide, please. And this year is actually being hosted in Palermo, Sicily. So the 4th one, and we're thankfully having like a sponsorship or the funding to send 2 ambassadors to facilitate the activities of the forum. And it's so very exciting to have opportunities like this. Next slide, please. So for example, we also have the International Symposium of Military Academies and the International Society of the Military Strategic Studies. So this creates a space for professionalism and to allow for collaboration in research and presentations. So I was lucky enough to attend the International Symposium of Military Academies, which is hosted in Doha, Qatar. And Max in the picture here, he actually attended ISMS, which was hosted in Copenhagen. So I was really thankful to have the opportunity to do some research and really step outside my comfort zone and co-write and co-present the paper that was presented at the symposium, and it was fantastic. But none of this would be possible without our generous funding from the alumni, who honestly make whatever we do, you know, our program in general, it just makes it possible. Without the alumni funding, our dreams really wouldn't come true. I just want to say thank you for the time. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Courtney. And I don't know if you saw that, but our paper is finally going to be translated. So the timing is awesome. So Courtney, as she said, contributed to writing the paper. And this will be her first scientific publication in a peer-reviewed journal. Courtney, not too bad for a first-year student, eh? To have this on your CV. So yes. So that's with this we conclude our mini presentation on the educational component of the Resilience Plus program. So the 3rd component is the research component. As a scientific program, we do lots of research on resilience, on character strengths, on mindfulness, on leadership, but we also evaluate the quality of our training program, including pre and post changes in resilience and in response to stressful experiences. So next slide, please. So the results are very encouraging, and we can see that the level of resilience is going up and the level of stress is going down for the students at RMC Saint-Jean who are receiving the education in resilience. Their feedback is also very, very positive with regards to the sessions. So as you can see, they found the session useful, easy to understand. They found the the pace comfortable. They found the sessions engaging and interactive. They felt comfortable asking questions, and they learned something new. You can also have a look on those qualitative feedback in terms of learning a lot, and knowing a lot about themselves and about their strengths and about their way of responding to adversity and acquiring different tools and strategies. Next slide, please. We also conduct research on character strengths and mindfulness, and we are proud to collaborate with the VIA Institute on Character on several projects involving character strengths and mindfulness. Many officer cadets ambassadors of the program are involved also in those research, and this gives them an opportunity to practice the science and to learn about how to do research. Actually, one of our former ambassadors is now a senior ambassador as well, and he contributed to writing already three scientific papers in reviewed papers. Next slide, please. So this is an example of the research that we conduct on character strengths. Next slide, please. This one is one on inner peace and character strengths. Next slide, please. And we are also working on an app, so a mobile phone app to build character strengths. Next slide, please. Courtney's paper we were talking about is going to be published in the Canadian Military Journal within what we call the Resilience Series. These papers, these articles aim to elucidate positive psychology and resilience for a wide military audience. So hopefully, and you can have access to those by tapping Canadian Military Journal Resilience, and you will find our papers in there. Next slide, please. The fourth component of our program is the mentoring. So as you know, we learn a lot from those who know, and we as a senior team member, we know that one thing that we can do and one thing that we can offer to our officer cadets is our mentorship. So next slide, please. So just like in this quote by the international, by Francis Cochem from the International Mentoring Association, mentoring is very important in any situation, any context, any organization. We are always looking for new mentors, and it's not about coaching, it's not about supervising, it's really about having a relationship where you can advise, where you can share your knowledge, where you can help an officer cadet grow and give them the space to share their thoughts with you and also grow with you. Next slide, please. The final component of our program is coaching. We do have a motto in our within our program is all you have you need, and all you need you have. And so our coaching is also based on that this motto. When we do our coaching, it's based on the idea that the client, the officer cadets, is the expert, and all we do is help them see a little bit further and a little bit larger. So we have 3 coaches in our program. They are certified coaches, and we have lots of officer cadets who ask and require our coaching. Especially during exams time, toward the end of the term, usually the coaching themes are about relationship management, stress management, life work balance, long-term relationship management. so we are also looking for new coaches who are certified coaches, and this I will talk about a little bit later. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we are very fortunate and proud to have our program being implemented in other military academies around the world. Next slide. So right now we have had discussions with South Africa, with France, with Denmark, with the Belgium, with the United Kingdom, and Portugal. So these military institutions are interested in implementing the Resilience program in their military organizations, and we're looking forward to create this international network where we can talk about how we apply the knowledge and the science to here. Next slide, please. Okay. So thank you for being patient until now, because this is probably what you are looking for, is how can you contribute as an alumni to the Resilience Plus program. So when you join the Resilience Plus program, and the senior team members in the Resilience Plus program can wear many hats. They can be a trainer, they can be a supervisor, they can be a researcher, they can be a mentor, and they can be a certified coach. So as an alumni, you can join and you can contribute to the program in those different ways. Now, next slide. Many of our members, and here you see the majority of our senior team members, not all of them, 3 of them are missing. Many of our members are either wearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hats. I wouldn't recommend the 5 hats one because it's a little bit too much. But many of them are going to be coaches and mentor and supervisor, or they can be researcher and mentor, or they can be supervisor and researcher and mentor, and so on. Some of our members are also wearing only 1 hat or 2, so it depends on their availability. It depends on their also knowledge. Other than me, none of our senior team members is yet wearing the trainer hat, because we're only starting the training program in September. But I'm hoping that there will be more senior team members with this hat in the coming years, so more trainers in our program. Next slide, please. So this brings me to the end of my presentation tonight, and I'm very grateful for your attention. And again, we're very grateful at the Resilience Plus program. None of all you saw would have been possible without the tremendous support of the Alumni Association. So these last 3 years, we have received financial support from the alumni, but we also had received lots of support from the members. Many of our senior team members are alumni, so not only financially but also in terms of being supervisors of initiatives or mentors. I have the privilege of having them. Of having alumni, my senior team members, as friends, but also as mentors. So I will turn now to Digger and to Jill and to Mark, and to ask questions and to receive their advice in terms of how to proceed or what to do or how to do things better. So thank you very much for listening to us. And we can now answer your questions. Zes.
Okay. First of all, thanks very much. That was excellent. I I learned a lot about things, and went back to some of the training that I received, in the military. I certainly wish that a program like this, and I know that one of the participants, also one of the directors, Rene Lafrance, has commented on, he wished there was a program like that when we were in there back in the day. And I think one of the successes that I had in my short career as a naval officer was that in those days we had a training squadron on the West Coast, and we spent 4 months aboard one of the destroyers, and did it all hands on, on the bridge of the destroyer, in the operations room, and so on. And the crew, the captain, the officers, they were our mentors, they were our coaches, and they treated us well. And basically, from the 12 of us that were aboard for that session of our naval officer training, I think we all did very well. And but that, I think, was a bit of the luck of the draw. That wasn't necessarily the case in the for the Navy. The other 2 ships that were involved in the training plan, I don't think those 24 members had it as well as us from a professional development point of view, and the resilient side of being a naval officer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we have a few questions. Chantel, you indicated that you could post them. There we are. There's the first one.
So do you have to be in the CAF to get the certification? Can civilian participate? Yes, absolutely. Civilians can participate to the certification. There will be a call to all the people who are interested in becoming a trainer, a certified resilience trainer with us. So the call will go hopefully this summer, and we will try to make sure that everybody connected to the CAF and to the Alumni Association receives it, so that you can share it with other people.
And the next question, there we are.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Stephen. So the program is based on the science of positive psychology, and we use character strength, the character strength model, the PERMA model to build on. So all the interventions that you see on campus are based on the science of character strength, and in the certification, every module is connected to the science of psychology in general, going from clinical psychology to sports psychology, but also to social psychology, positive psychology. Great to see the research. I guess you are mentioning the research that we have done on the program, but also there are other research that you can, if you Google Lobna Cherif, or if you go on the RMC website, you can find, or on the ResearchGate website, you can find all the research that is connected to this program. So I'm curious about how we, RMC and RMCAA, can connect alumni who are serving in the CAF with current cadets. Our existing branch and class networks tend to focus on the veterans in our community. That's really, we don't have other ways of connecting with the alumni other than through the Alumni Association, and the alumni who are serving in the CAF can be connected also to the officer cadet through the Athena network. I'm not sure if you are aware of this network, but it is also very much supported by the Alumni Association, and this is a very good way. Also, this is a mentoring program as well that connects CAF members with current officer cadets. That's a great question, Jill. Thank you so much. So you can find out about the character strengths by going to the VIA character website. If you Google VIA character strengths, you can find the science behind character strengths. You can also do the free the free survey, scientific survey. It will take you 20 to 30 minutes to respond to all the questions. You will get a free PDF with all your character strengths. There you go. Thank you, Courtney, your awesomeness. You'll get all your 24 character strengths from 1 to 24. Please make sure to use the free survey. There is a one that you have to pay for, but you don't need to do this one. And then please make sure to save your PDF so that you have an access to all your character strengths, to the classification of your character strengths. And then on this website, there is tons of resources about the science of character strengths and the use of character strengths and the correlation and the relationship between character strengths and resilience, character strengths and well-being. And there is also tons of research on character strengths amongst different populations. So kids, military, civilian, all kind of research. There are hundreds of papers if you would like to read more about character strengths and the science of character strengths. I also wish this had existed during my time. Would love to get connected to this program, please. Several officer cadets I met at the Legacy asked me to join this program as a mentor. Happy to help. Do you align the mentors for their military classification or stream of study? Thank you very much, Michelle. I look forward to meeting you. We're preparing a document and selection process for the mentors that are going to be willing to join our program. So if you would like to connect with me by email, I can share with you my email address, or you can also Google me the Athena Network is actually the program that Officer Cadet at the Legacy Dinner mentioned it to you. There you go. So the Athena also network is a program that connects officer cadets with mentors. However, it's different. The way we do the mentoring in our program is different because we tend to use mentors and to connect them with mentees who are specifically interested in their all their background, their experience, their not only their military program, but all the background. So really, we try to be more general than the Athena Network program. Yeah, I love it too. And our students love it too. They are very generous, and they've been very creative in writing their cards so far. Pierre, la classe d'entrée de 74 au CMR Saint-Jean qui fera son entrée au sein de la VP écrira une lettre aux personnes qui graduent en 2024. En effet, yes, je l'espère. I'm hoping that this will be a tradition. We're really working hard on connecting with all the classes, and as any new tradition, it's going to take time before everybody is aware of it and knows about it. But we're already on our third year, so hopefully more people are going to contribute and to write letters and talk about this to other people. Merci, Pierre. Sébastien Bouchard, oh my God! Thank you, Lobna, for this great update. This program is simply amazing. I hope our officer cadets appreciate all the passion and the hard work you have put in it. À la prochaine, Sébastien. Merci, Sébastien. Yeah, I said I did talk about our commandants in our podcast, coming to our podcast and writing their narratives. So thank you very much.
Oh, I have a question. Yay! So how will I use this experience on my next unit? Honestly, I'm a firm believer in establishing a positive space. And I think that Resilience Plus and positive psychology in general, especially with the research and the studies that I've looked at, have allowed for me to have a foundation to be able to apply positive interventions. They can be anything from journaling. It can be as involved as you want, or as little time. Like I have a little notebook, and it's the gratitude journal, and there's like little challenges every day. And I think just by being vocal and sharing what I know, I think will move mountains. I don't think it takes a lot per se to really make a profound difference in someone's life. And I absolutely hope to stay connected to the program. I love it. It's done wonders for me in the last 3 to 4 years that I've been involved in it. So I just want to say thank you for the question.
Okay, we've got no more questions on the comments at this particular point in time. So I give everybody another minute or two to get any questions in that you may have. At this point, I'd really like to thank Dr. Cherif and Officer Cadet Latour for their the presentation this evening. I certainly found it, how did we used to say when we were cadets, interesting and informative. But it was a lot better than that. It was great, and really appreciate it. And obviously, I guess for those in participating in attendance, we'd appreciate hearing your comments on, how you found the presentation, and also any suggestions for future webinars. As I say, we'd like to, this is the inaugural and a great one, and hopefully we can continue on with others. And who knows, maybe we'll have an update with respect to, Resilience Plus 6 months, a year from now, and see how things are going. We appreciate those updates.
Absolutely. And thank you so much again for having us and for the opportunity to present and talk about the program. Again, the support the alumni extended to our program over the last 3 years was amazing. And we're really, really very grateful for all of it. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Please feel free to contact us and reach out to us. Thanks.
Okay, we've got one last question there from Scott Stevenson.
Absolutely, Scott. Absolutely, please send me an email again, or via Facebook on our Facebook page. We do have a Facebook page, everybody. Yeah, so I forgot to say this. So it's Resilience Plus. If you Google Resilience Plus or Facebook Resilience Plus, there is the logo. You'll see it. So please feel free to join us. You'll be able also to listen to our podcast through our Facebook page, and also you can contact me through Messenger through the page. So absolutely, Scott, please, I would love that. Thank you very much, Chantal. Thank you for everything you did and for all your support.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Chantal. Thanks very much again for everything. Once again to Jill for coordination of all of this stuff. And hopefully we did okay for the first one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay.